Hi there, welcome back to the green room of the Backseat Designers. Fred's already diving into his bathtub full of cocaine.
Manowar snorted most of it, it seems.
He actually keeps a horse in his bathtub. Where is that? I thought you kept dolphins in there. Never mind.
I don't actually keep the horse, it was just there.
It just showed up. Oh, I saw this picture on Twitter. I think actually it was Ben Chandler who tweeted this picture of someone who took a photo out of his window onto another apartment building, and there's just one light on in the other apartment building, and there's the silhouette of a horse. It just goes, "Honey, David Lynch has moved into the apartment next door."
I hate
so
it
anyway,
when that happens.
Welcome to the green room. Fred's snorting coke. Gareth is drunk, I hope. And I'm just giddy with excitement because a person has just stumbled coincidentally into our midst. And we're just going to hijack his fatigued ass and have him be part of the conversation. Hello, Francisco Gonzalez. How are you doing?
I'm not wearing pants.
Yes, a kindred spirit.
I don't like the fact that you have a fatigued ass and you're not wearing pants. I really don't care for that.
It's just drooping on the side of the chair.
I didn't eat it.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, nothing.
Nope,
Let's
never
continue.
mind. So, anyway, what we were talking about in the main show was, adventure game elements creeping into other types of games, and we were kind of struggling to come up with any good examples. I think we did manage to get a pretty good conversation out of it. In fact, the bulk of the episode was about storytelling, which apparently is, the crux or the crutch, whatever it is, the thing we always lean up against. We just go, games equals storytelling.
Or the qua. The
qua, yes. The equestrian of the Jesus, we're on a horse trip.
Back to Man of War.
Yep. He was of course sired by UK Triple Crown champion Roxanne, which is a weird name for a horse, if you ask me.
I don't think I've ever heard of a racehorse that didn't have a weird name, to be fair.
Oh, sorry, it was his mum. His mum was sired by the Triple Crown champion Roxanne, which sounds like a porn name.
Did you say Roxanne?
Well, Roxanne's you don't have to put on the red lights.
Oh, anyway, Gareth, you were on about the story in games, and there was this one bit of the conversation.
That joke was so bad it stings.
Oh, God, not this again.
Actually, the great thing is we've done this before in our spin-off show. If you go to backseatdesigners.com.
No, don't.
No, please
don't do it.
But shit, all I can think of now is Sting in his fucking Speedos in David Lynch's Dune, because David Lynch was on just a second ago. Just him standing around. Oh, fuck, man. Anyway, there was one point in the conversation in the main episode where Gareth was going on about something about story, and we started typing in the chat, which you, dear listeners, are not privy to, where we just went, ooh, wouldn't it be great to add Francisco to the call? Oh, he's online. Cool, let's do that. And so what was that point, Gareth? Putting you on the spot here.
You put me on the spot. Yeah, I'm going to have to take some big steps walking on the moon. Sorry, don't stand so close to me if you don't want to hear some
puns or I'll call the police.
Sorry. Well, trolls, I was talking about stories in adventure games, and then you brought up A Golden Wake, and I nodded my head, which was very bad for a audio podcast because nobody could see me nodding my head. But the general point was that Francisco was available, so we then decided to invite him into the chat. And my basic point was that I felt that being able to tell stories, we developed the technology to be able to tell stories better. And so some games had decided to tell stories, and some games had decided not to. But those that had decided to tell stories therefore had an audience of people who wanted to listen to stories. And you brought up Francisco as an example of somebody who tells stories and people want to listen to his stories.
Oh yes, and we kind of tangentialized on is that even a word? On how stories were sort of going out of vogue at the tail end of the 90s, and now they're starting to creep in again. And of course, Francisco is a person currently living in this modern age and writing stories for games that are very heavily into stories.
You mean you guys aren't living in this modern age?
Oh no, we're coming to you live via time warp.
Okay, I see. Okay, it's an undead podcast. Okay, so yeah, I agree with you.
Nice. Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Go have your nap. No.
Thanks.
I just want to get a fourth opinion, I guess. Do you agree with the sentiment that storytelling kind of fell out of vogue at the end of the 90s and then is now coming back? Or has it always been there and I'm just too far up my own ass to see it?
Well, I definitely think that games like Myst, which I have to admit I have never played Myst, but judging from what I've heard about Myst, it seems like there's not a whole lot of story involved. Like, I know there's the whole thing with the books and the brothers and all that stuff, but it seems like the essential gameplay in Myst involves a lot of trial and error, lever pushing and puzzle solving and stuff.
Marry me.
Okay. So yeah, that sort of created this, created this whole sort of subgenre of Myst clones and whatnot. And I don't think that storytelling in adventure games necessarily dropped off much at the end of the 90s, because you still had the very few LucasArts and Sierra adventures that came out towards the tail end of the 90s, which were very story-based. I mean, you had Grim Fandango in 98 and Curse of Monkey Island in 97, and Gabriel Knight 3, which was kind of the very last 90s adventure game in 99.
I like Jen Jensen. Every little thing she does is magic.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off, and not because you made the pun, because you stole mine. So I was looking for
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Anyway. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so Gabriel Knight. Yeah, so Gabriel Knight has, arguably a good story. People enjoy that one. And then, of course, you have The Longest Journey, which I believe also came out in 99, which had a lot of storytelling in it, like Relations, for example. So yeah, I mean, and then the adventure games kind of trickled out in the early 2000s, and then you had the resurgence with Telltale and everything, and now it seems like story is kind of the most important thing in adventure games, especially the Telltale model, which is basically just we'll tell the story, you make a choice, and the story will change slightly.
Mm-hmm. But looking at games that aren't necessarily adventure games, because
the topic, wasn't it?
Well, kind of, but I'm glad you brought up these examples, because for our sake, storytelling is one of the major reasons why we play games. And if we try to look past ourselves, try and look at the modern demographic of computer game players, it's not adventure games are still a niche market. They're gaining more traction, certainly, but I mean they were declared dead by the early noughties or whatever. So
sure, and then of course then we had the whole Kickstarter resurgence where you had all the old designers coming back, and you got games like Jane Jensen's Mobius, which is about an Englishman in New York.
I set myself up with that one, didn't I?
Not really.
Okay. Well, you're a genius, sir.
Not really.
But
absolutely.
But anyway, looking at games that are not adventure games and seeing adventure game elements like a fully fledged story with actual characters instead of just cardboard cutouts that need a bullet in the head. Working out a story. I mean, feel free to drop in at any time because I don't know where I'm going with this. But having games like that, where storytelling is suddenly becoming a much more intricate part of the whole thing, as opposed to like Quake or Doom, where it's just run around, shoot everything that moves. Who cares about the story? How does that make you feel? I don't know how to end that rant.
I mean, it's
Does it do things for you?
It definitely. I mean, there's definitely ways to insert stories into other genres that are not adventure games. I mean, you can definitely do it with first-person shooters. Like Strife, for example, I think is a good example of a game that has a first-person shooter that has adventure game elements in it. I haven't played too much of it, but it has dialogue and it has conversations and it has puzzles, as far as I can tell, narrative puzzles.
Yeah, and Ben won't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah, exactly. There's also like Deus Ex and Deus Ex Human Revolution more recently.
Oh, good one. We didn't bring that one up in the main show.
Yeah, had a lot of that sort of thing. I'm trying to think of other Psychonauts is a platformer.
Oh,
That's basically an adventure game.
There was also that one Ron Gilbert did a while ago, The Cave.
Oh yeah, The Cave. Yeah, The Cave was. It was really.
Happy birthday, Ron Gilbert.
No, really?
Is it? It's Dave Gilbert's birthday, but I don't know about Ron Gilbert.
it actually is. It is Dave Gilbert's birthday.
It is.
Happy birthday. But he was not born on the 29th.
But mostly happy birthday to Manowar.
Oh, yeah, of course. What a horse. What a horse.
What a horse, of course.
There'll never be another horse like it.
No. What other genres do we have? FPSs, platformers.
I mean, we've sort of covered RPGs, but they kind of fall in between. I mean, you couldn't.
Yeah, RPGs. I mean, are pretty. They're like the cousins of adventure games, so you can't really be surprised that an RPG has a good story. I mean, that's kind of the basis for genre. There's, I guess, hidden object games have sort of introduced a few. There's some hidden object games that have adventure stories and adventure game elements where you, after finding the hidden objects, you have to solve a puzzle.
Oh, and then
like Sinister City, the fantastic Sinister City.
you guys have been talking about that on Blue Cup.
Yeah, fantastic is in quotes. But I know Jane Jensen also worked on a series of hidden object games that were very storied as well.
I think one of the questions was that one of the things that Gareth and I sort of got into a little debate about that sadly went nowhere was is it like do you think it's like a cultural thing or a technological thing? Is it because that we started looking at what technology can do in the late 90s that we sort of forgot about story, and now that we have the technology to animate cutscenes and actually they're not just blocks of wood with triangular tits and whatever, hi Lara Croft, that story has suddenly become a viable thing, or is it like a cultural thing where we just sort of forgot that games can tell stories instead of being playthings, pastimes, sports, like the esports and whatever?
That's a good question, because
you think so? Because I was really struggling.
Well, I mean, if you think about the adventure games in the mid '90s, they were kind of the showcase for technological advances. Like King's Quest was always the flagship series to show off, sound cards or VGA graphics or things like that. And adventure games were always like the ill-fated FMV era was kind of like, basically all adventure games were doing FMV. And that was a new technology. And then when 3D started, I think 3D was more suited towards non-adventure games because, I mean, Gabriel Knight, love it or hate it. I mean, I personally enjoy it, but it looks terrible nowadays, and it did when it came out.
Yeah.
Mostly in his Tyrannosaurus Rex arms stand particular example of that. But yeah, I mean, I don't really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just so now with the technology we have now, you can pretty much animate every breath you take.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
and I was going to say too, that you can introduce story elements into other genres in many sorts of ways. I mean, you can do it via just like interesting text, or you could send a message in a bottle, or
Yay!
Oh my God, you're the king of pain.
Apparently, Fred doesn't like the police or Sting. I don't see
We've
why.
got him wrapped around your finger.
I was just going to say that.
I think most listeners would agree that's too much information.
Fred just drowned out another good one.
No, it's fine.
Oh, good.
I drowned out a good one with a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you can't animate every breath you take, and I think that I think it's just kind of it might have been a thing where the sort of gee whiz factor of the brand new graphics and games that were just Twitch shooters and things like that, kind of people wanted to just play games to have fun, maybe not necessarily to hear a story or whatever. And now I think.
Oh, sorry. Do go on.
Oh no, I was just going to say that now maybe people are a little bit more open to that sort of thing again. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess when the world is running down, you make the best of what's still around. So.
In many ways, it's a brand new day.
I got nothing. I don't listen to.
I suppose.
Well, just
you don't have a Google page open.
No, if you think about it, aren't we all just spirits in the material world?
Oh, bombs away. I'm so glad we got you on here. You're like a canary in a coal mine.
Well, I mean, I have to admit that there was a hole in my life before you invited me on, and I just... I am planning on taking a nap after this, but I have to confess that the bed's just too big without you.
Boy, you really do have a death wish, don't you? On any other day, I would enjoy this. But no time this time, man.
Did you know that over his 2-year career, Manowar won 20 of 21 races, setting 3 world records, 2 American records, and 3 track records?
Wow, that sounds like a regatta de blank to me.
I didn't know that. She must have been so lonely, though.
All right, last question then.
Do you think Manowar like peanuts?
Are you setting me up? Sure, I think he loved peanuts.
Yeah, see, truth hits everybody. This is hilarious, and I'm not even that much of a police fan.
No one is. No one is. I didn't want to do this. You forced me to stop walking in your footsteps.
Why don't you have some of Fred's Coke? I'll keep you up.
I'd rather have tea in the Sahara, to be honest.
Well,
seriously, the only Sting song I know is Russians, and I'm having trouble working that into a pun.
Well, you can have some of my Coke. It's all right for you.
I'm laughing so hard I've been driven to tears. Or at least Gareth has.
Yeah, Garrett's just losing.
I'm going to close my Google page now.
You've just managed to find the shape of my heart, that's all.
Oh boy, oh boy.
This should have been the main show.
I think either we should just quit this while it's still good, or we should try to find out what would be the other way of stopping.
Okay, final point then. Final point was... The thing I love about computer games is that now we don't necessarily view people who play computer games as a singular entity, like a singular group of people. There are lots and lots of different people playing computer games, and people
even
who
moms.
Yes, and even girls. Jesus. So having this having it turn into not just the sweaty nerd group, but also a lot of different types of sweaty nerds has diversified it to the point where storytelling is not the be all end all thing of a computer game, and neither is the idea of a quick and dirty pastime that you can just flip on in the train while you're waiting for the train to pull in.
That's called masturbation.
Yes, and I do that on trains a lot, and I'll tell you, it draws some strange glances.
Mm.
Yeah, I got nothing. Does anyone want to hit this one home?
The voices inside my head tell me no.
We've stopped that, Fred.
Yes, we've moved on.
Didn't even need the soundboard.
No, I never stopped. I'll never stop.
Okay, I was just trying to get some sort of sensible thing out of the whole multiple demographic thing, but I'm just gonna call it quits now. I give up.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well
I think
done.
we've actually mentioned most Police songs.
Yeah, probably.
So this has been another Backsting Designers episode.
You know who else's birthday is today? Oh,
Backsting Designers.
Please subscribe.
By
going
two Danes and a man from Copeland, England.
And a very tired person who just flew in, and boy, is his suction cups tired.
you know who else's birthday it is today?
No.
Christopher Walken.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
happy birthday, Christopher Walken. He was
Yes.
in a movie with horses too. The James Bond movie of YouTube has horses.
I
in it.
like horses. My name's Christopher Walken. It's my birthday today, and I like the police.
That's not the worst Walken I've ever heard. I mean, the worst Walken I've ever heard was Fred.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
He does a terrible, terrible Walken.
I'd say yours were uncomfortably close. So please, Francisco, don't stand so close to me.
We're still not doing
Oh, we're going back again. You know what I like about the Christopher Walken Wikipedia page? His personal life says Walken has a cat named Bowtie. His previous cat was named Flapjack.
His previous cat was named.
Flapjack.
Why is that your favorite thing?
Because that's so random. Why would you need to know that personal information about someone?
Good question. Apparently, you just want to know everything that's going on in Christopher Walken's life. Oh, have you ever seen him read from the Three Little Piggies?
Yes,
That is amazing. If anyone hasn't, go look that up on YouTube.
I will. Not.
Well, I think if you're not playing my very important game of police puns, then it's time to end this.
Yes.
And
Let's,
tomorrow,
let's-
tomorrow we'll see if we can do it again.
Police Quest 5.
starring Sting Bonds.
Police Quest 5, Fields of Gold.
For Jim Walls.
All right. So in closing this, I will just say that Man of War has been the subject of 4 notable biographies. The first one was written by Paige Cooper and Roger Treat. And then there was another one called Thoroughbred Legends from Eclipse Press. Please look that up. And another one was A Legend Like Lightning. I think everyone deserves to go and put themselves through the horrors that Gareth and I did, because we literally researched this horror for a couple of hours.
Right.
I don't know
and
why we
thank you,
did this.
Thank you for that. It was actually a brilliant gag, I thought. I'm sorry I didn't react. Maybe I'll dub in some laughter.
I'm going to go listen to some Men of War who are apparently named after the horse, according to Joey DeMaio.
I'm gonna go play some music, but really, Francisco is awfully tired, and you know what they say: if you love somebody, set them free. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yes, we're definitely. Thanks for joining us in the green room.
Thank you,
That was-
Francisco.
I won't be coming back though, so sorry for that.
That's fair.
I was actually wondering at what point we would start scaring you off. I mean, you've been on Open Crowdsource twice. You've been on our season finale once.
You've been supporting us all this time.
Yeah,
I have, and this is how I get treated for it. Honestly.
so yeah.
I want to hear the sexual harassment one again.
Oh,
Detective Carey, I view your action as sexual harassment and find your behavior objectionable. Please stop touching me.
That's Police Quest 5 right there. Mr. Sting, I find your actions unlistenable.
But
and,
fucking fantastic.
right.
don't stand so close to me.
Exactly. There you go. Police Quest 5, don't stand so close to me.
As narrated by Virginia Capers.
No.
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh,
Actually-
we almost got
We've got
to.
time for this evening, so it's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
Wasn't there
Good
a
call.
movie called Copeland? Though that's awfully close to Copeland. Police Quest 5, Copeland.
Yeah, there was a movie called Copland.
Right,
I think we're done.
Yeah,
I am
we
so sorry.
Yeah, that
That
I'd like to pretend
escalated
that wasn't our best, but
That escalated quickly. Well, I love how it just degenerated into Sting and police quotes. Absolutely nothing was being said of relevance for a couple of minutes.
I really thought. I mean, I was like trying to hold it together, going, "Hey, we're gonna get to a point eventually." No, we're not.
You were like a ghost in the machine.
Oh God.
Are we just gonna cycle through all of them again?
Yeah, I'm gonna restart. You know, I've hit the reset button and here we go again. Well, actually, I might just hang up on you, gents, because you.
That's really not what I wanted to do. So.
I was trying to figure out how to work that one in.
That was. I'll have to say that was the best one, actually.
That was lovely. You win.
I think I need a nap after this.
well,
The bed's too big without you.
I'm actually going to go.
I'm also
Me too.
gonna
Goodbye.
leave. But thank you so much
Bye.
for joining us, Francisco. See
Yep.
you guys next week. See you guys next week.